So we are talking about now the imagery, okay? So during the day it was a thunderous surge of cars and the gas station opened and a great insect rustling. Rustling is a sound, okay? It's a auditory imagery or onomatopoeia, we can say that. And a ceaseless jockeying for position as the scarab. Yes, beetles. Scarab beetles are your dung beetles, okay? Scarab is like you, if you have seen the mummy, you would have understood.
Mummy, Egypt.
Yeah. Look, as I said. So this one. So here again it is once we were talking about. So the cars are compared, okay? Like basically rustling is full of energy and like you know how these beetles they go for forage food. You know what is forage? In search of food. Foraging is that. Like you know when you go in search of food, like that. These cars are compared exactly like that. They would go in the morning, go for search of food, and then after that, jockeying, that means it like constant and unending, like you know, moving. Like jostling you have like in the local trains, have you seen that you're moving continuously jostling, or you're pushing your way through to the stadium, or you're jostling through the crowd, you know, that way. So you're jostling to position as the scarab beetle. A failed scarab beetle means who goes in search for food, like that. These cars are also moving like around like that. And then a faint incense sputtering from the exhaust. Incense.
Nice smell.
Yes, nice smell.
Fragrance.
Yes, but from the exhaust you'll get a nice smell.
No.
Okay. Skimmed homeward to the far directions. But now, see, morning it is like that. That is the imagery, visual imagery used. But now at this particular time when he's walking, but now these highways too were like the streams in the dry season. In the river, how it dries up, and summertime like that. So the roads were exactly like that. Okay. All stone, bed, and moon radiance. So the only thing what is visible in the city is all stones. The like you know the surrounding, the home are basically only stones. There's no light. Bed and moon, like you know, moonlight is shining. So again, nature element is there. Radiance is when it is shining brightly. Okay. He turned back on the side street, circling around towards his home. So now he's coming back towards his home. He went towards the westerly side, right? And near the hidden sea, and now he's taken a full round and he's coming back home. He was within a block of his destination when the lone car turned a corner quite suddenly. And suddenly, this particular lone car turned a corner where he was walking and flashed a fierce white cone of light upon him. This is a description of the police car. Okay, so you have this suddenly this lone car turning, and he said he flashed a fierce white cone light upon him. So he's on the spotlight. You know how the spotlight comes directly on you, like that. He stood in. This was his reaction when he saw this car. Huh? You can get a question. How did he react? So this was, he was entranced. Entranced is mesmerized. Entranced means mesmerized. Uh, fascinated? No, fascinated. Like you know, he seen a car for the first time in how many years? 10 years. So he sees, so he's entranced. He's fascinated by it. All right. Not unlike a night moth. So again, you are comparing him with a night moth. You know what is a moth, right? You've seen it enough in the rainy season, specifically, you see a lot of moth. And they will go specifically in the light, or they will go to the candle as if the light attracts them. So, like that, he was attracted to this particular light which was flashing on his face. Clear? Stunned by the illumination, the brightness. Okay, he was stunned by the illumination and then drawn towards it. Like how a magnet is drawn towards it, like that he is drawn towards this light. He is attracted towards this light. Here drawn means attracted to. A a metallic voice called to him. So metallic voice is normally, if you see a robot voice, is very metallic. Understood? So a metallic voice called to him. Stand still. Stay where you are. Don't move. Attractive. Okay. This is stand still. Stay where you are. Don't move. So there's no movement. He halted. He stopped. Put up your hands. You know, like you're a criminal, you have to put up your hands. But he said, your hands up or we will shoot. So he's treated as a criminal. Alright? The police, of course, but what a rare, incredible thing in a city of 3 million. There was only one police car left. Wasn't that correct? So, inhabited 3 million, in that only one police car is there. And that was the most incredible thing. Ever since a year ago, in 2052, the election year, the force had been cut down from 3 cars to 1. So there were 3 cars, now there is only 1 car. Crime was ebbing, becoming less. Ebbing is when the tide goes back. That means it's moving away. So ebbing is becoming less.
I thought the police car came down to 1.
So police car came down to 1. What does it mean? From 3 to 1 it came down, no. So you should have understood with that only now. You're sleeping. You are not processing on the sentence or you're not comprehending the sentence only now. 3 to 1, it's reduced now. Ebbing is reduced. There was no need. Now, why was there no need? This is again a question which can come. Why there was no need for the police car? Understood? And what was a rare and incredible thing? You can frame this also this way. So you have to get the answer. What was the rare and incredible thing? Answer from your text. Do not give me random answers. You need to give me. Yes. And why?
Because the crime rate
Was decreasing. Yes.
there was no need for this.
Yes. And same for this one, lone car wandering the empty street. So again, there are no people around. People like have us busy sitting in front of the TV and absorbed in the city. There is no, it's like a phantom sitting in front of the TV with no emotions, no interactions, nothing. Alright? Your name. So basically, this also shows that nobody goes out of their house at this particular time. Alright? Society has a particular. Your name, said the police car in a metallic whisper. He couldn't see the men in it for the bright light in his eyes. Remember, the focus was on him. So basically, he was blinded. You know, when you can't see, it's pretty dark, right? You can't see. Leonard me, he said. Speak up. Leonard me. Business or profession? He says, I guess you can call me a writer. No profession. So writer is a no profession. Why? Creativity is absolutely dead. People, as I said, it's a conformist society and he's a non-conformist. So for the police, being a writer is no profession. As if talking to itself, the light held it fixed like a museum specimen. Needle thrust through the chest. Like how you see in a microscope, you will find your specimen under the microscope and there is a needle holding you in your place. Have you seen any type of dissection? Scientific, you do such. So you see that it is holding it in the place, it doesn't move like a frog. I'm not saying real, this one was gone out of this one. You cannot do a dissection, a live dissection in your labs. But if you see videos of it, you will see that they under the microscope, you're holding it there only, so it doesn't move like that. It felt like that. Again, it is a comparison. So this comparison is a which one? Metaphor or simile? Like a museum specimen is a simile. Okay. So here what it is creating a sense of captivity and immobility. Okay. It is this particular sentence tells you that he was captive and immobile. as if the character is trapped and on display.
Use that.
It creates a sense of captivity and immobility, as if he is trapped or on display. Creates a sense of captivity, 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 and immobility, IMMOBILITY, as a character trapped or on display. And then see, you might say that, like you know professionally, then might say that. Why? Because he hadn't written in years. Alright, magazine and books didn't sell anymore. So creativity and imagination is dead. Magazine and articles are supposed to enhance your creativity and imagination. Everything went on in the tomb-like houses at night now. So everything is like going on that. He thought, continuing his fancy is imagination. Okay? The tombs inlit by television light. This is the first time you will get that it is television. Alright, the tombs inlit by television light, where the people sat like dead. Again, you have a comparison. The people are compared like dead, grey, or multicolored lights touching their faces, but never really touching them. What does this mean? Touching their faces, but never really touching them. Huh? Addiction? No, not per se.
Watching the screens and the light is entering their eye, but it's not exactly touching them.
Emotionally disconnect. They are emotionally disconnected from everything. So basically, nothing is touching them. So even if whatever is happening on the TV, they are just seeing it like zombies, like dead people, without comprehension, without understanding, understood, without any emotions. So that is what it's saying, that this light is reflected, grey, multicolored, but it doesn't affect them because they're sitting like zombies with no reactions. No profession, the phonograph voice hissing. What are you doing out? Walking, said Leonardo. Walking, just walking, he said simply, but his face felt cold. Now he started, when your face goes cold, like when you start feeling scared, when you start feeling scared. Walking, just walking. So, this confirming you're walking. Yes, sir. Walking where? Walk for what? Why are you walking? For what reason are you walking? Okay? So, it talks about, as I said, society at that particular time have to follow rules. They are not supposed to walk. Your address, 11 South St. James Street. And there is air in your house. Air is basically what referring like there is ventilation in your house, or there is AC in your house. Or you have it, here is AC. You have an air conditioner, Mr. B? Yes. And you have viewing screen in your house to see it? No. No? Said the cracking pipe, that itself was an accusation. As if he's accusing, how dare you don't have a television in your house. So this is like, as I said, he's a non-conformist. He doesn't follow the rules and regulations. AC, yes, he has an AC in his house, but he doesn't have a TV in his house. So, are you married, Mr. E? No. Not married, said the police voice behind the fiery beam. Fiery is like, it's very bright, it's hurting. The moon was high and clear among the stars, and the houses were grey and silent. So look at that. It's a contradiction of nature. Understood? Moon is high and clear, but the houses are grey and silent. Alright? Nobody wanted me, said you another meet with a smile. So nobody wanted to get married to him. Okay? Don't speak unless you're spoken to. So he's committed a major crime and said, you are a criminal, you're not supposed to speak. Leonardo waited in the cold night. So he's waiting, what is going to be. Just walking, Mr. Bean, and he starts getting, imagine how many times it's been repeated. You're walking, you're just walking. You're now not married, they're verifying that somebody could, verify that this person is sane or not. When we're talking about that, not married, when he says, nobody can verify his thing. He says not married because nobody may accept me like I am. So that also is a version of Mr. B. Or not married because nobody will accept him, right? And you haven't explained for what purpose. So he says, you are working. For what purpose you're working? I explained for air, to see, and just to walk. He says, I have explained. I have given you a perfect explanation. I wanted to like, fresh air. I wanted to see, look around, and just to walk. Have you done this often every night for years? The police car sat in the center of the street with its radio throat faintly humming. Well, Mr. B said, is that all? He asked politely. Yes, said the voice. Here. And there was a sigh and a pop, and the back door of the police car sprang wide. So the back door opened. Get in. Wait a minute, I haven't done anything. Get in, I protest, Mr. Me. And he walked like a man suddenly drunk. You know how a drunkard sways and walks? So he is unable to grasp that what crime has he committed, and literally he's in shock. Like, how can they arrest me for walking? Okay. As he passed the front window of the car, he looked in. As he had expected, there was no one in the front seat and no one in the car at all. So it's an atomic car, automatic car. Okay? Automatic car is basically can control. Now Tesla has come out with that. You can control people drive you and all that, and nobody there. It can be controlled by that. So that get in. He put his hand.
Tesla is not like,
Tesla is coming up with that kind of prototype model.
yeah, they have launched one like you're driving the car and the door is open with the
Yes, and it is one thing also. I think Japan or somebody has. I have seen this kind of thing where the car self parks itself. Basically, where it is.
Sunday your TV automatically starts the car automatically.
But the driver is inside the car. The car will automatically.
No, but outside they can operate from the key also.
Yeah, that's what I said. But it's not been up till now. I have never seen a car like that.
nothing is there in Korea.
Korea, Japan, and all that. I've seen the ads of it, but I've not really under this one. It's not been. I'm not teaching people practically. I've seen a car which can climb the hill. Literally can climb the hill. That means it building it could climb the building. I've seen that also. But as I said, maybe AI generated video or it may be, or a car which like, can transform itself into a boat. It can float on water. So these are the types, the prototypes which are coming out. Understood? Because now there's so many things, floods happening, this happening, that happening. You know, your future generation will have cars like that, which will float on water and like it will have maybe the jumpy ones. You know, from when the traffic jam is there, your wheel can pop up and then make your like literally walking, like you've seen movies like that. So your generation may have that. You don't know. It may just like we're just having a lot of discoveries happening. Or suddenly it will pop up the propellers and you will be flying in the air like a helicopter. I hope that car comes. I'm not fed up with the traffic jam. I swear to God, I hope I will have that. So as in this one, as he passed the front window, I looked in, there was nobody inside. Okay. So he put his hand to the door. Here is the back seat. Now this is the description of the car. Anytime any kind of description is important. So okay, so inside the back seat there was a little cell, and now cell is a jailer. So there was a little cell with a little black jail with bars. It smelled of riveted steel. Riveted is fastened. Riveted is fastened. Joined. And bars are joined to the jail. This one in the jail, no, that kind of jail which is there. The bars are joined. So it can smell like that. It smelled of harsh antiseptic. Now, when you talk about antiseptic, it is again we come to where do you get the smell of antiseptic?
Hospitals.
And what kind of an atmosphere is in hospital?
Depressing. Scary.
Depressing, scary.
Tension.
Dull. What else?
Negative.
Yes. What else?
lonely.
That is what I'm coming to. So the theme of isolation is running there. So antiseptic. It smelled too clean and hard and metallic. So the whole world is like that. Okay. There is nothing soft about it. So there's again lifelessness, no emotion, cut off from everybody, no social connect, that kind of thing. Now, if you had a wife to give you an alibi, she could have been a witness. Okay, that you are at least sensible. So, said the I in voice. But he says, but unfortunately, you don't have a wife. So you are where are you witness? Somebody who can vouch for you. Alibi is that.
Yeah.
Somebody who can give evidence. Alibi is that. Somebody who can give evidence for you. Means stand as an evidence. What you can say alibi. Yeah. Alibi is basically vouch for you, but then you don't understand. You will not understand vouch. No, the alibi is somebody who will, give witness for your character.
Means what they are.
Yes.
Now I search alibi.
No, I'll give you the correct meaning here only.
Now I search songs.
Alibi is a song.
Yes.
By somebody that you were in a different place at the time of the crime. Understood? That is an alibi. As an evidence or witness, basically you're the witness that yes, this person is sane person. He's not he's sensible. He's not a criminal. That way, alibi is that. All right. So where are you taking me? The car hesitated, or rather gave a whirring. Whirring again is a auditory imagery. Whirring is an auditory imagery. It as an information, like how a tape recorder view. No, you are not. You must have not seen a tape recorder. No, no. I'm not just sorry.
From the square shape.
That's a tape.
Yeah.
And then the sound comes, that kind of a sound.
Like that radio, no?
That is a static sound of a radio.
But it's like a radio only, no? It's only.
A small square shape box.
Correct, it was a tip. Anyway, basically, it's an auditory imagery, means you can imagine that. An information somewhere of a, how do I explain? This is the sound that it goes like that. Basically, like your engine, when you're starting that, it doesn't get that sound like that. Okay, so imagine that, because why it is processing, it is processing this one. As if the information someone was dropping a card by punch slotted card under electric eyes. So like it's like a robotic thing. So it's like dropping it and it's writing the information down. So it's saying to the Psychiatric Center for Research on Regressive Tendencies. So when he asks us, where are you taking me? He says to the Psychiatric Center for Research on Regressive Tendency. What does regressive mean?
Opposite of progressive.
Yeah, so that means less advanced, becoming less
Not
advanced.
acceptable.
Yeah.
And it's
What did I say?
less
Regressive.
advanced.
Know the meaning, it will come for MCQ. Review, I told you, this one I told you, it can come for one mark answer, it can come for an MCQ, it can come for you, was it taken? So the learn the spelling of Psychiatric Center for Research on Regressive Tendencies, please. Learn the spelling. Overall marks gets cut for spelling. He got it. The door was shut with a soft thud, so he's locked inside that particular car. The police car rolled through the night avenues, flashing its dim light ahead. Avenues, I told you, what is avenues?
White series of short trails on the side.
So he says, so it's flashing its dim light ahead. They passed one house on one street a moment later. One house in the entire city of houses that were dark But this particular house had all its electric lights brightly lit. Every window a loud yellow illumination, square and warm in cool darkness. This was whose house? Leonardo Mead's house. So,
description of the
yes, it is talking about individuality, it is talking about ability to think for himself. The house represents that. Represents it's his individuality, individual and ITY. And ability to think for himself. It's then it's talking about his defiance, that means he's not following the rules and regulations of the society. Refusing to try to fit in. He's refusing to try to fit in. It also shows that he's not dead from inside. When you talk about not dead from inside, basically that means he's creative, he's imaginative and all that. Yes. So that's why his house was the only bright lit house in compared to the other dark houses. Alright? The window has a square, you know that. So it's here, this is a visual imagery again. Huh? It is talking about that. So they passed one house on one street, which was like the entire city of houses were dark. Every house in the city was dark, but this one. So he's refusing, he's defiant. Alright? Which had all his electric light brightly, every window yellow illumination. So you have this yellow bulb in those days. Alright? Warm in the cool darkness. Warm in the cool darkness.
The light in the house is warm and the atmosphere is cold.
Yes.
And dark because there are no lights and
Correct. Again, it is like this particular thing that you are like emotionally disconnected in that this one, but this particular wife had that kind of like ambience around it. That's my house.
Why is it written square?
Shape of the window. Because look at it, window light here, yellow illumination, square and warm. To emphasize, like, you know, life in his house. That's my house, said Leonardo Mead. No one answered him. So nobody was bothered about what he is doing. They haven't taken it. The car moved slow down the empty riverbed streets. Again, empty riverbed streets is a metaphor because it is compared with the yes. And off away, leaving the empty streets with the empty sidewalks and no sound and no motion, all the rest of the chill November night. So basically, nothing. Now, no light, nothing is remaining. Because the person who was the only one who defied one is now being punished for his regressive tendencies. Okay.
And so he was not in the house.
He was arrested and he was sent to a psychiatric ward. Why? Because he defied the norms of the society. The norms of the society is what? After 8 o'clock, where are you supposed to be?
At home.
At home and doing what?
Watching television.
Watching television. So everybody is following the society. Everybody is doing it except for him.
Then going to research then how his house.
Ah.
House.
Ah.
House. Research center जाया था.
On the way.
to
House pass है एकदम टपका नहीं गया उधर से. Basically, it was there only. He was passing and he saw that house. And he's proud of his house because in compared to the old dark, this one, that is the only illumination of light. Like when I teach you that sometimes when one interesting question comes, that's the only illumination of light for me. When you don't ask particular proper questions. Go get me, you brought a textbook, oh sorry. Yes, did you bring?
Yes.
Take it out.
Today,
the meaning of tendency.
Habits.
so that it's not very
Yes, please get. See which volume you have to get. Get me one for me.
Ma'am, may I come in?
Yes, come in. Be careful.
Ma'am, the other chapters that were there in ninth standard, they will not come in exam.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
I mean by that in exam, English
What is the syllabus given to you?
for the board exam, no?
Huh?
All the chapters.
11 to 15, 11 to 15. What is that in the ninth is not coming for you with the exam. It is 3, 4 and 5 of Julius Caesar and 11 to 15, 11 to 15. That is the course for your board exam. You are not told this. And the first thing what I start the class with, you are sleeping. That's why that's the time I told you the syllabus. Your syllabus for your board exams is 11 to 15 chapters, 11 to 15 poems, and Julius Caesar 3, 4, and 5. Understood? That's your syllabus for your board exams.
The solitary works.
Sorry?
Solitary works.
Solitaries, lonely walks. Alright, read.
Multiple sources.
Sorry?
About the story.
No, I don't want about the story because story I just told you. What kind of a story it is? I just started with the genre of the story. What kind of a story it is?
Science fiction.
Science fiction. Alright.
Real fiction.
See the last paragraph of that about the story. Last
Sociology,
paragraph.
psychology, and anthropology.
Yes. Okay. I want you to read.
Which one?
Wait a second. I'm telling you which part. This one. Page 83 is the second paragraph. Not the second, the third paragraph. The central conflict.
The central conflict of the pedestrian is between the main character, Leonard Mead, and the whole the dystopian society with which he lives. Mead is highly individualistic and craves interaction. He only receives this interaction while being arrested for walking alone at night. The pedestrian at a glance that in 2053 AD in a town of 3 million people. At night on a residential street, protagonist is Leonard Mead.
Protagonist. Situational irony. What is the situational irony? Read.
No situation. Reed finds out there is no one in the police car. Then the police car is able to locate the one man walking in a large town.
Okay. Alright, next theme.
Technology destroys human thought, individuality, ingenuity. Sometimes
The spelling is wrong.
conform and then judge others who do not.
Okay, so basically it's that who goes against the society, people are always judging them. You talk about the trendsetters, they don't wear a particular style of dress, they don't this one, so people are always judging them. Okay, because they don't fit in the societal norm. And what about trendsetters? I said, who's that? Now that is also another thing. Who's that?
Trendsetter means
Some people do.
Someone who sets a trend.
yes.
Alright, chalo, I think this one. You talk about going for a party. Okay? Diwali party. I'm talking about Diwali party. And this girl, I'm taking a girl. No, let's take a boy. Why should I take a girl? You're taking a girl, sorry, a boy. No, a girl is better. You're taking a girl who, in a Diwali party, has worn crop top, strapless crop top, and a distressed jeans and entered the party. What will people do?
Judge.
Huh?
Not judge. No. Like it is not. It is a party. So
A Diwali party.
so I'll judge her.
It's supposed to be traditional.
Thank
Maybe
you.
not judge her.
See, we have such judgmental people in life. That's the first reaction which came out, right? It's a traditional party. Diwali, when I say Diwali, it's traditional. And I told that this person has come with a strapless wife because boys cannot be, naked. I can't. That's my version of it because that's what I said before that. See that. And you as a girl, you said he said to you, she has to go and change immediately. First thing out, very judgmental person. Here also that one. She's a traditional party. You have to go and change. That is you want, as I said, that's your perspective. You don't have to follow normally the rules and regulations. But as I said, I was giving you an example of how society works. So walking at that particular time was like that. Now understood the situation. Clear? Now you understand what are trendsetters. Trendsetters are those people who will not follow the society's rules, who will go against the societal rules and this. Now again I tell you about trendsetters in your history. Savitri Bai Phule. Why? Because she went against and started educating women. Women were not supposed to be educated. She, Rani Jhansi Ki Rani. Why? Because women are not supposed to fight battle, and she fought a battle. So these are your trendsetters of history. And you have to be like that, not your dressing style. Basically, become somebody who, works for the society rather than being the same like the herd of the society and following whatever the Bollywood stars do. Understood? You have to do what you are comfortable with. That is your fashion sense, not something just because these people are anyway influenced by them. You have to have your own. That the whole story is you have to have your own creativity and imagination. You're not supposed to be following blindly anything. You're not supposed to conform with the society as in this one. You have to question the society. See, certain rules and regulations have to be questioned. You cannot blindly follow whatever the society has dictated. Understood that the society, this is what the story revolves around. It doesn't follow what the society dictates, and that is what you are. You are. That's why this. See, as I said, when you do literature, you need to understand literature is not only done like just because there's a story in this one. You are learning concepts and you're learning values from it. And like your generation is going to face this because AI is becoming stronger. It is gaining popularity. Your jobs are at stake. If you don't use creativity, you don't use imagination, you don't use, what happens is you depend totally on ChatGPT, the other platforms and all that, you depend on it. Your brain will not supply. Your brain will become stagnated and your brain will not supply you answers. That's the worst thing will happen to you because your jobs, you will not get jobs because AI will take away all your jobs. And remember, AI is being created by humans only. So it will not be smarter than humans. The humans have to be smarter than AI. So you're going to become a stereotypical person who's going to whatever your friends do and like you do the same thing for you. It doesn't work like that. You have to be different from that. And as I said, you are very, very close to living in the society which is described here. Understood? You are being very, you don't socially interact. When children were younger, they were supposed to play outside. Now children are sitting in front of the mobile and getting addicted to it. They refuse to do their homework, they refuse to eat, they refuse to drink, they refuse to do anything without seeing that. That kind of addiction it is. And what happens is if your brain is not exercised, it will not provide you answers. And once it is not providing you answers, then as I said, you will not be able to survive in this coming 10 years. Because next 10 years of your life, you will be working. In the next 10 years of your life, you all will be working. You would have completed your whatever you all are doing, whatever you're studying, is going to be like that. So that is what we are talking about. That we don't know who our neighbors are. We really don't know because we don't interact with them. Because we're so busy in our life, we don't know who's living next door also. If somebody else has taken it on the rent, you will not know that also. That's how life has become. Okay. Now coming to this. Read the style. I want you to read the style. The style is this one. Come on, read.
The story. The pedestrian policy point of view technique making the protagonist
Protagonist, it is not protagonist. Pro and tag is there now.
Protagonist. Leonard made express this name and discussed with the.
What does this name mean? This is synonym of disgust. Now come on. Disdain is dislike. And disgust, so you know, na?
Yes. And discuss with the dehumanizing effect of advancements in the technology and social life. The author uses effective description of the outside world and the passing houses and deserted streets. One night to contrast how the people living in those are almost dead and look like phantoms as compared to the protagonist, whose house is the only one bright with yellow light. The author has made use of contrast to bring out the difference between conformity to set standards and the individualistic personality of a non-conformist. Made is a vibrant, imaginative person and the only hope left to stir individuality. Risking is brave. The author uses figurative language, rich with imagery, and other literary devices to bring out the theme of individuality, alienation, loneliness, and the dehumanizing effect of technology in the forms of television, robots, etc.
Now see, what does tactile means? That is written there. Tactile is touch, visual is sight, auditory is sound, and olfactory is smell. Gustatory is taste. Okay?
Description of nature with a variety of images render it vibrant. Tactile images bring the natural world to life. Mead in his box finds good crystal cross in the air. It cuts the nose and makes the lungs blaze like a Christmas tree.
This is tactile because you could feel it. Okay.
The use of simile in comparing Mead's lungs to Christmas tree gives his time in nature a spiritual
connotation. A meaning. Connotation is a meaning.
Of breathing cold air with a religious celebration. Ordinary images of nature convey Mead's impression of nature. He listened to the faint push of his soft and I will read that. He listened to the faint push of his soft shoes through autumn leaves with satisfaction. He also picks up one of the leaves and smells it.
Dusty smell is what? Olfactory.
His satisfaction contentment with his work stands contrasted with the people whose faces are touched by the light of the television sets but are never really touched. All this is conveyed on an emotional level. The police car itself symbolizes dehumanization of the population but shows that the machines of robots are better thinkers and capable of bringing out conformity in the interest of
your real life. Yes. This is your real life, the last sentence.
How is lungs compared to the Christmas tree?
Not the lungs. You are talking about, look at this. Uh, it's the air which you are talking about. Cut through the nose and makes the lungs blaze. So basically, acha, now I'll give you an example. You go to a hill station in the summer holidays. How do you feel?
Better because it's
When you
cooler,
breathe in the air, how do you feel?
refreshing.
Thank you. So when you talk about Christmas trees like that, it's talking about how the lungs feel is not the lungs. It's talking about the entire feeling when he breathes in the air in the fresh atmosphere and all that. Like how a Christmas tree is very spiritual. He feels connected to nature. So that is the connection. Now understood. Yes. I know you finished reading. You can go ahead. You can move ahead.
Have we not?
No, you're not reading the plot. Sorry? Will you please wait for 2 minutes? 2 minutes. Patience. Alright, so now this one. Extra question. I want to read that, then we will solve an extra. Come on. What is page 88? What are the author's message? Now remember, message, themes, and description is extremely important because these are the things which are very common, which will be asked in your boards. Message of this one, theme, genre, and the description. Learn up very, very thoroughly when you're doing it for the board. Alright, so read the message of the pedestrian.
Yes. What is the author's message in the Pedestrian? They practically like we wish to warn society against the dangers of isolation and conformism. Bradbury's life would have been surrounded by skepticism, so he probably championed individualism, nature, and simple human interaction.
Yes, and imagine how far this one. Now let's see. I forgot the year, I'll tell you which year he wrote this. Hmm.
1960.
And the interesting fact is in India, when did the TV arrive?
Probably
No. We were not so well. We were not progressed to that.
because we got independence in 1947.
Your television gained. Now I'll tell you that also when television came into existence.
Probably 70s.
When television came to India.
I'm like TV.
I was not looking at the TV.
59. Bradbury with this Indian.
No. But when he wrote at that particular time, he had seen the effect of television on people. Before television was invented, they would interact, they would talk, they would chat, they would read. That is what was there. That was a predominant hobby of the people. And after television, and that is what, if you talk about it, it's very eerie how he could predict how people will be in future. It's very, very eerie. Because if you see this sentence, when you're talking about you have no individualism, you will not have nature. Tell me when you as a child has seen look at the trees and and look at the birds, look at the people around you. Do you get the time to enjoy nature? That's why I said when you go to a hill station at that particular time you notice nature, but when you're city only you will never notice. You will not notice a building, you will not notice who's next to you, you will not notice that. That is how your life is progressing. Or at the last one, second one, the Bradbury's short story. This is the next question, please.
In Bradbury's short story, Pedestrian, Mr. Leonard Mead is arrested by a robotic police car for simply walking in the streets at night and behaving like a pedestrian. What crime did he commit? In the year 2020, nearly every citizen remains indoors and watching their television each night. Mr. Mead is one of the few people who enjoy walking outside to enjoy the natural air. Despite the fact that the city's streets are completely barren because people refuse to leave their homes or look away from their television screens. Mr. Wade enjoys his nightly walk through these empty streets. Unfortunately, a completely automated police car stops Leonard during his nightly walk and questions him before demanding that he get into the back of police car. In Bradbury's dystopian future society, being a pedestrian is suspicious, and this results in Mr. Wade's arrest. When Mr. Leonard Wade sits in the back of the police car, he learns that he has been taken to the psychiatric center for research of regressive tendencies.
Please learn this spelling, okay? Now, the choice of pedestrian belongs to which genre?
Dystopian.
Dystopia. In which month of the year it is set? How do the houses what kind of a man?
Optimistic.
Optimistic. Yes, you have to take optimistic. He's not pessimistic. He is not lazy, he's not a clever. Okay. How do people
Pandas.
Yes. Select the option that shows the correct relationship between 1 and 2.
2 is the first one.
Huh?
2 is the first one.
Yes, 2 is the cause for 1. Now, what is it now? He asked the house, noticing his wristwatch. 8:30 p.m. Time for a dozen assaults murders, a quiz, a review, a competent following this one. Who is the speaker in this context?
Mr. Lee. Mr. Leonard.
You better write the complete name, otherwise you will lose marks. And who are the listeners?
The
Nature.
readers of the
Yeah?
readers of
It's a TV channel. So where were the readers of this one reading? Who are the listeners?
Of the TV channel.
watching the television.
People who are watching their television.
Yeah, the people. He's assuming that they're listening to his questions. The people who are living in the tomb-like houses. All right. Are the murders so frequent? All right. Why does the speaker ask about the murderers?
People like watching about
People like watching about murderers. Lovely.
Because at 8:30 p.m. the television shows murder mysteries.
Why?
like
Because he wants a response from them. He is speaking continuously because he wants some kind of response from them, isn't it? What is a review?
a series short dances and
Sketches.
sketches, song, and theoretical embedded
Dealing with satire, I told you that is important.
and theoretical
That is 2 plus 1. Where is it taking place?
on the television.
Yes, it is taking place on the television. What makes the speaker ask these questions? Why is he asking questions?
Because
People are isolated or he is isolated.
no,
People are isolated or he is isolated.
he is
Then Why is he asking the question?
Because all the people are indoors and it he's curious.
There is no personal interaction between them, and yes, he's curious, and
He himself does not watch the television, but he guesses so because he's
he
walking in the
he
streets.
wants what?
He wants a response.
Yes. All right. You have understood the chapter?
Yes.